certain Biden crime family whistleblowers have gone missing. Very strange. Just as things start to heat up for the Bidens, key witnesses suddenly become hard to find. And James Comer explained about the difficulties that his oversight committee is having. And meanwhile, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that other whistleblowers are safe. In fact, the key whistleblower, the one that she says is going to take down the Biden administration, is still okay, and they have eyes on. Now, the Oversight Committee is having a hearing this Thursday where additional whistleblowers are going to come out and testify. And we have reaction from Jonathan Turley about why this is all being covered up as this heats up. But James Comer was on with Fox, and this clip came from the Storm Redux, and he is a great follow. But here is what the conversation was on Fox News. The Biden crime family whistleblowers missing.
Well, with what we've investigated and the people that we've tracked down, going back to the CEFC, the two main players in that business, as well as all the Americans that were involved in the different Biden peddling schemes, as well as the Serbian national. The 9 of the 10 people that we've identified that have very good knowledge with respect to the Bidens, they're one of 3 things, Maria. They're either currently in court, they're currently in jail, or they're currently missing.
Nice.
So it's of the utmost importance that the FBI work with us to be able to try to identify what research they've done, what investigations they've done, because we have people that want to come forward, but honestly, Maria, they fear for their lives. Not only are the Biden lawyers and the Biden White House intimidating them, the media is trying to intimidate and discredit them. And I think if you look at the Rasmussen poll, 7 in 10 Americans are very concerned that Joe Biden's involved in a public corruption scheme, and they want to know more information. 7 in 10 Americans strongly support the work that our House Oversight Committee is doing, investigating the Biden influence peddling. And we just need to get some cooperation from these different deep state bureaucracies that are standing in our way.
Good luck.
This is absolutely extraordinary, and it is stunning that some people are missing, that you need to prove this. Who in the White House is intimidating these people? Do you know?
I do know. We're saving that for a later time. But I can tell you, one thing that a lot of people don't know, when I issue a subpoena to a bank or to an individual, the second I issue that, Jamie Raskins gets that. And when we get information in from the bank or from any individual, they make 2 copies, one for the majority, which are the Republicans, one for the minority, which are the Democrats. And my biggest problem with the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee is they're acting as a criminal defense attorney for the Biden family.
They are protecting their team. Republicans are pretty bad at that, but the Democrats are not. They will weaponize the entire organization to protect crime family Joe. And so James Comer is speaking about missing whistleblowers, and Marjorie Taylor Greene has some additional details on this, says that some people are in fact missing, but the one that we care about is safe. Once again, from the Storm Redux.
Ma'am.
Because this is a very serious situation. It's not a game. Everything we're talking about involves a lot of money and the most powerful position in the world, the presidency of the United States. And I want to be very clear with everyone watching again today. Our whistleblower that brought us evidence that leads directly to Joe Biden, that Joe Biden took a payment from a foreign national in exchange for foreign policy favors, that whistleblower is not lost and they are safe, but they do fear for their lives. That whistleblower came through us, thankfully, through the help of Senator Grassley. So that is a fact. That is the truth. But other whistleblowers, yes, they are missing. They're either in court, they're in jail, or we cannot talk with them at this time because they can't be found. This is a very real situation that we're talking about. And our investigation is so important, Steve, that this will bring down the President of the United States. Woo! And I want to let everyone know something. We're going back to the Treasury Department today at 1 o'clock because we have more financial records that we have to review leading to the Biden family and Joe Biden himself.
So we are missing some whistleblowers, but not the one that implicates President Joe Biden, not the one who can take down the presidency. And questions about where these other whistleblowers went just disappeared. Very troubling indeed. Now, they are scheduled for an oversight hearing this Thursday. So even though we have some missing whistleblowers, some other whistleblowers are not missing. We have 3 whistleblowers who will testify at a hearing on Thursday, specifically about abuses that they've seen at the Bureau, at the FBI, and how the FBI has retaliated against them for speaking out. And Comer's office gave us a little bit more details on some context, because evidently there was more to this story. Said that some context on Fox yesterday, Comer said that the committee can't track down the informant. We're hopeful that the informant is still there. The whistleblower knows the informant. We're saying, what does that all mean there? He said the whistleblower is very credible, and all we're asking the FBI with respect to Form 1023 is, what did you do to investigate the allegation? All the FBI has to do is say, yeah, we looked into it and it wasn't a credible informant, and that's why we didn't do anything. But they won't answer the questions. But Fox is told the chair was not talking about the whistleblower related to FBI 1023, which carries an allegation that President, when VP, accepted money for a bribe to change the policy. So that witness is still safe. Comer's office also says that the chairman was using the term whistleblower and informant interchangeably. And so we're still not exactly sure what whistleblower we've lost track of, but we do know that the Oversight Committee has a hearing scheduled for this Thursday, and we will cover that time permitted. So we have this also coming out. The White House is refusing to disclose any emails, and the Secret Service just won't hand them over. Coming from the New York Post, Delaware visitors go and hang with the president, but the emails that identify the people who went to his home in Delaware can't be disclosed under FOIA. The information would be very nice to see. A lot of high-profile controversies involving the Biden's business dealings and his classified records. But the Secret Service flatly refused to supply records after more than a 7-month wait when they were combing through thousands of emails to comply with the public records requests. The FOIA officer turned to an appeals court ruling in New York that in 2020 turned down a request for visitors to Trump's residence. He said, please be advised that emails reflecting visitors to Biden's residences are not agency records subject to FOIA. They're his personal records, and so you don't get them. And he sure is there a lot. The Secret Service claimed last year that no records were located showing, quote, logs of Delaware visitors. In September, Secret Service denied an appeal, telling the New York Post again, no responsive records were found. James Comer said Biden wanted to have the most transparent administration in history, but they're not turning anything over to us. And Jonathan Turley, a very intelligent lawyer, is explaining about how shocked he is that the corruption is being blacked out, calling it truly Pulitzer-level stuff. He said this week Byron Donalds tried to do the impossible. After he and his colleagues dropped a bombshell that the Bidens were receiving $10 million, he tried to induce the press to show some interest. He said, for those in the press, and we played this here, he said, this is easy pickings, man. This is Pulitzer-level stuff right here. Feast up. But the response was virtually immediate. Despite showing 9 Biden families allegedly receiving funds from corrupt figures in Romania, China, and other countries, the New Republic ran a story saying, Republicans finally admit they have no incriminating evidence on Joe. That's the title of their article. So after they come out with all sorts of evidence, this is what they post. Republicans finally admit they've got no evidence against Donald Trump. Look at this. Bunch of propagandists. So for many of us, it was otherworldly. Last year, Turley wrote a column about it, but the media ignored everything. Everybody confirmed it, New York Post, but millions of dollars have been shown to go to Biden family members, and nobody wants to talk about it. New York Times ran a piece, said no evidence of wrongdoing by Biden. New York Times. That is putting aside evidence against all the family members. It also ignored other evidence. And so the media is in full speed cover-up mode. Everybody can see it. And the whistleblowers just keep coming. And we'll be looking forward to see what they say when the time comes.